Hey everyone, Jammer here with another video today. This video is going to be super. And the reason why I say that is because it's going to be about the Supercards. That's right, Pro Wrestling Illustrated in 1986 started the Supercards, which was a magazine that they did once a year. This would be the September 1986 edition, about the main shows that took place around the same time period, being WrestleMania 2, the Jim Crockett Sr. Memorial Cup Tournament, David Von Erich Memorial Parade of Champions, and Wrestle Rock 86. So WWF, NWA, WCCW, and AWA all get mentioned, all get looked at, all get discussed and talked about in these magazines. Now, they give you results. They give you, well, where's it at here? Information. They give you colored photos, and even colored posters. I mean, this was the real deal back then. This is how you got your information. This is how you knew who won at these big events. You get the Pro Wrestling Illustrated and you read about the Supercards. Again, right there, look at that. Wrestle Rock 86, full results. AWA right there, right? So, and they had a lot of pages. Look at that, the Supercards 86 book of lists. It was pretty impressive what they gave us here. I guess that was it for that. But there it is, Supercards 86. That was the first one that was done by PWI. The following year, September 1987, Supercards 87. You get full coverage of 1987's greatest shows, being WrestleMania 3, the Jim Crockett Sr. Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament, UWF Super Blast at the Superdome, and David Von Erich Memorial Parade of Champions. So this one, they get rid of the AWA. They're not looking at anything involving them. They're looking at the UWF, which is ran by Bill Watts in the Oklahoma area, Texas area, Louisiana area. That's where guys like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death Steve Williams really, made a name for themselves there. The One Man Gang was there, the Fabulous Freebirds. So, again, they give us kind of like the last issue, the year before. They give us facts and figures from WrestleMania 3, the WrestleMania 3 results. They give you some colored photos here with the newsprint colored style. Look at that. I mean, that's pretty cool for that era, right? Of getting a magazine and seeing these colored photos. You got Hogan slamming Andre here. Joey Morella can't believe it. You got a poster here of Dusty Rhodes off the top rope onto Tully Blanchard, who was trying to pile drive Nikita Koloff in the Crockett Cup Tournament Finals. You got Terry Taylor and Rick Steiner here in the UWF Super Blast. I mean, pretty cool. And there's Magnum TA right there coming back after his car accident to manage and be beside Nikita Koloff and Dusty Rhodes when they defeated Tully Blanchard and Lex Luger in the finals. There you got WCCW action in Texas. UWF action there. There's the Crockett Cup full result. I mean, this gave you everything you needed to know in that time frame. And usually that was about the month of April, right? April is the Supercards. That's when WrestleManias take place. That's when the Crockett Cup takes place. And just incredible. If you couldn't see it live, if you couldn't see it on video, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated gave you the ultimate coverage they could give you with this magazine issue. Supercards 88. September 1988, right there. Look at that. There, it looks like it's just WrestleMania 4, the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup Tag Tournament once again, and AWA Rage in the Cage, and Clash of the Champions. Now that's interesting, and the reason why that's interesting is because Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament and Clash of the Champions are both NWA. They're both Mid-Atlantic. They're both Jim Crockett. They both get mentioned in this. Look at that, color it again. The tournaments and the titles, the Clash and the Cage, and you are there at ringside. Because you are at ringside because you're getting all these photos right up front and colored. Look at that. Very cool. Very cool. WrestleMania 4 in color there. Look at that. Hogan's getting ready to drop the chair on the $1 Million Man to help Macho Man win his first WWF title. And there's Macho right there and Liz with the WWF title. What a moment. Randy's first reign. It was impactful. It was huge. Here we see the Midnight Rider makes J.J. Dillon cry out in pain with the bull rope match. Of course, the Midnight Rider looks familiar, folks. He may have a dream. It may be American. I'm just saying. Look at that here. Dusty Rhodes here, wrapping barbed wire around the Barbarian's head. At the Clash of the Champions, Sting and Ric Flair going 45 minutes for the world title. And here we have the Crockett Cup pictures. Of course, the finals that year was Sting and Lex Luger defeating Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. You know, Rage in the Cage, AWA. That is the match where Jerry Sags goes face first into the the turnbuckle, but misses the turnbuckle, hits the ring post, and loses a tooth, loses that front tooth and bloodies his mouth. That's the match. So, very cool. Very cool. These magazines are pretty sweet, right? I mean, you got the PWI year-end awards, you got the PWI 500s, and then you got the Supercards. 1989's was in August, and it wasn't really called a Supercard. They kind of went with just Super Sunday, because they talk about Hulkamania Reborn when he beat Macho Man for the title, and they talk about the NWA down here at the bottom. I don't really think they really do much in here. It's just pretty much just like stories. They didn't really Supercard it, but they did give you a sweet poster of Lex Luger here, the total package. You know, that's pretty sweet. And NWA Stunner Super Sunday, because the event happened on the same day. The Clash of the Champions and WrestleMania 5 took place on the same day. Kind of like a war between the two organizations. So, it counts. They talk about both on there. I'll say it counts. 1990 just talked about really WrestleMania 6. Talked about the Ultimate Warrior defeating Hulk Hogan, so I didn't bother grabbing that magazine. But 1991, Supercards 91 returned right here. A great colored photograph here on the cover. We got WrestleMania with Hogan and Slaughter, Warrior and Savage. We got the WCW New Japan combination with the Steiner brothers, and I believe that's Kensuke Sasaki there. Ric Flair and Tatsumi Fujinami. Very cool, right? And of course, PWI here in the middle of their magazine, all colored. Kind of like the main event was in that, or not the main event, sorry, Wrestling 83 through Wrestling 93, like I did in that last video. So that's kind of neat. But let's get to the... Here we go. We got Supercards 91. So we're talking about WrestleMania 7. Giving us the results there. And the Supercards Super Facts on this side. The WWE in Tokyo Dome, even talking about those results that took place right after WrestleMania 7. Because you see the Macho Man right there wrestling Takano, right? He still had to fulfill his wrestling duties, as they said, after he lost to the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7. WCW draw 64,500 in Japan. This is the big... they called it Starrcade 91 over there for some reason, with... that WCW New Japan joint promotion. Again, there's some super facts. We got some WCW New Japan in Tokyo results. some sweet pictures here. Again, some more colored photos. The picture here of Tatsumi Fujinami with the IWGP and the NWA World title belts, because he did pin Ric Flair, a bloody Ric Flair, pinned him for the NWA title, and of course it would go into a dispute that Ric Flair technically didn't lose the WCW World title. Okay, interesting. So is there a championship, did he win it? Who knows? So Super Brawl 1 came out of that with a rematch in America. 1992, again, there wasn't anything. It was just WrestleMania 8 they talked about. So Supercards returned in 1993, August 93, with WrestleMania 9 and when WCW invaded New York. For some reason, that was a big deal. WCW takes Manhattan, a new era in wrestling. By now, the Supercards weren't as really super anymore. Oh, this is coming out. Oh, Shawn Michaels. Is this the Supercard? Yeah. WCW takes Manhattan. I mean, really, it's just a house show. It wasn't anything special. This is what they're going with here. There was no pay-per-view in April for WCW. WrestleMania 9 happened at Caesar's Palace, where we saw 2 world titles change hands, with Yokozuna beating Bret Hart and then Hulk Hogan beating Yokozuna. So, I mean, really, it's not like it was in the 80s. It's kind of a really lame attempt at Supercard magazine, but I get it. I get why they did it. Trying to bring back that, I guess, that fan base of what fans were looking for with the PWI, with the Supercard. 94 and 95 and 96 were all just WrestleMania. They didn't even have Supercard for the covers. They just talked WrestleMania. Supercards didn't return until 97 again for PWI, and it's right here. And we got WCW Uncensored, WWF WrestleMania 13, and ECW Barely Legal. So ECW now makes it into the cut. We see Terry Funk moonsaulting on a Big Stevie Cool here. The Dennis Rodman here from the NBA with Hollywood Hogan. And Stone Cold Steve Austin going after Bret Hart with Ken Shamrock as the referee. So this is when we get back into the Supercards, and they start right there, page 18, and there's a lot. Like, they give us a lot here because there is a lot. There was 3 shows, and they had a lot to talk about with this. Going into WCW here now, this would be WCW Uncensored. So that was a big event. The NWO was at their peak here. Here we got the best and worst of Uncensored 3, they say. So they tell you what's like worst ring attire, best ring entrance, all that kind of stuff just for fun. Getting into ECW now here. So I mean, it was kind of neat to see this return in 1997. There's a bloody Terry Funk after winning the world title. We got Steve and Brett here. We got Sabu and Taz here. And then in the middle, we have, what do we got? We got Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman spray painting Lex Luger, NWO on his back. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, right? It's back. It's pretty strong. A pretty strong magazine compared to the few years there where it was just WrestleManias they talked about. They didn't talk about WCW or ECW. And I guess 97 proved that ECW was kind of on par, right? They were on pay-per-view competing against the WWF and WCW. And that takes us to the 1998 edition. Supercards 98. We got Sting with Hulk Hogan on the cover. Well, Hollywood Hogan, I should say, giving him the Scorpion Deathlock. Mike Tyson KO Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. and Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow going through the ring at Living Dangerously. So again, we talk about WCW Super Brawl, WWF WrestleMania 14, and ECW Living Dangerously. Again, kind of like the same layout as the last magazine in '97. You know, not a lot changed for that. They just kind of went with what worked from the following year and talked about each event on as it went on. And of course, the poster here, we got Undertaker leg dropping Kane. We got Too Cold Scorpio diving down on Rob Van Dam. We got Scott Hall giving the outsider's edge to Rick Steiner while Scott Steiner seems to cheer it on. I believe that was the event that Scott turned on Rick, joined the NWO. We do got some colored photos here, which is nice. So they gave us that, you know, it's kind of like some still shots of the event. Goldberg destroying Brad Armstrong. You know, it's always nice to see there. We got, you know, that's right. Scott Steiner turning on Rick Steiner, giving him a suplex. Then we got the WrestleMania 14 photos, the dumpster match, the Intercontinental title match, the heavyweight title match we got here with Austin and Michaels, and of course the ECW photos. We're all here. So, you know, pretty sweet. That's that's Supercards 98 with ECW, WCW, and WWF right there. Up next, we have Supercards 99. It's one of the last times you'll see Ric Flair on the cover with the World Championship. It probably is the last time, actually, you'll see it. Flair grabs the gold. It's when Ric Flair defeated Hollywood Hogan for the WCW World title at Uncensored 99 inside a steel cage. We got WrestleMania 15, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeating The Rock for the WWF title. And we got ECW Living Dangerously, which had Taz defeat Sabu to unify the FTW and ECW world titles. Again, same formula as the last 2 years. You're not going to get anything different, right? You're getting pretty much the same layout with just different color font. That's it. You get results, you get a little information. And then you get the color photos from the companies. And that's, of course, Uncensored saw Mikey Whipwreck's debut in WCW, wrestling Billy Kidman for the Cruiserweight title. He left ECW to go there. We saw Kevin Nash and Rey Mysterio wrestle because Rey's finally unmasked. He's doing the no mask wrestling thing here. You know, just a lot of good stuff. It's good. It's such a good era for wrestling here, right? Let's be honest. Such a fun era, a good era. WrestleMania now. Big Boss Man being hung. Wasn't that a sight to be seen, eh? This, of course, was the show that had China and Triple H reunite in DX, only for Triple H and China to prove they really didn't reunite in DX. They actually turned on DX and were actually with the corporation because Hunter pedigreed X-Pac here and showed, hey, I'm not with DX. I'm with the McMahons now. Here we got some ECW photos showing the events there. You know, Sid Vicious being in ECW. We got the franchise Shane Douglas and Tommy Dreamer against Lance Storm and Just Incredible. And of course, RVD against Jerry Lynn. I like the Living Dangerously 99 match with RVD and Jerry Lynn better than the Hardcore Heaven match. Everyone always says the Hardcore Heaven match was better. Even ECW said that, but no, I always thought the Living Dangerously match was by way better than Hardcore Heaven. And of course, Sabu and Taz. So that's pretty sweet. Oh, look at that. Picture of Christopher Daniels there with hair. But Supercards 99. Pretty sweet. Up next is Supercards 2000. And this talks about, this is August 2000 again. This talks about WCW Uncensored, WWF WrestleMania, and ECW Living Dangerously. So, again, probably, yeah, same formula, pretty much. You're getting the results, you're getting the pictures, getting facts. Why not, right? It works, let's do it. Let's keep doing it. And they did it every year here, so... not too bad. I don't know if there's any colored photos, though, is there? Oh, yeah, here we go. We got color photos, so... we got some, yeah, pretty much it's the same layout, kind of, you know, as the years before. Showing off, there's Ahmed Johnson as Big T. Him and Stevie Ray were the New Harlem Heat. That was horrible. Dustin Rhodes wearing pants and a shirt. He was feuding with Terry Funk in WCW here. Hogan and Flair in a strap match. Was that the apple pie strap match, I think? I don't know if anyone's ever seen that video on YouTube. Apple pie. It was pretty funny. Pretty funny stuff. It's to the Headbangers theme music. There we got WrestleMania now. Showing what happened there. The TLC. It wasn't really a TLC match here. It was just apparently just a ladder match between the Dudley Boys, Edge of Christian, and the Hardys. But yet, you know, tables were used as well. So technically it kind of is a TLC match. Look at that. We got Rock, Triple H, Big Show, and Mick Foley in the main event. Here we got ECW. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and ECW with Steve Corino here in a bull rope match. You know, ECW, of course, wasn't the best in 2000. Not really much star power, but what they had, they really worked well with. And I was still a fan. I think we all were, right? We all watched it. So they had to have been doing something right. Yeah, so pretty neat. That was Supercards 2000, August 2000. So, I do not have any Supercards from 2001 through, you know, later on. I just don't. I don't have any of the magazines. I don't have anything from 2001 up till like 2014. And I'm sure there was other Supercards maybe. I don't even know if there was actually, because at the time, there would have just been WWE. 2001, there would have been a WCW show in March, but ECW ran their last show for pay-per-views in January. So I'm going to say we probably didn't get Supercards. They probably just highlighted WrestleManias. Unless they did highlight the TNA pay-per-views, I don't know. The first Supercard that I seen, and it actually says the return of the Supercards, is May 2001 PWI. They brought it back, and you see Wrestle Kingdom, New Year's Smash, Royal Rumble. You know, they talk, all the companies got talked about in this. And I'm not really gonna go through much in here because I don't really know a lot about these companies. But you know, you got like they got MLW. They're talking Wrestle Kingdom. They're talking you know, the Royal Rumble. This is all about January. So they did do another one as the years went on. That's 2001. 2002, August of 2002, they did another one, Supercards 22, and they talk about, look at that, WrestleMania 38, AEW Revolution, Crockett Cup, which is ran by Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins NWA, Stardom World Climax, New Japan Pro Wrestling 50th Anniversary, Supercard of Honor, which is Ring of Honor, and AAA Rey de Reyes, I believe that is. I'm not really too sure, but yeah. No need to really go through there. You see on the cover what's in there. They a lot of wrestling companies, right, in 2022, and they're giving you, oh, look, plus down here, look, plus. TJPW Grand Princess, WXW 16 Karat Gold, ECWA Super 8, Joey Janela's Spring Break, and more. That's a lot of wrestling to cover. Photos, stories, results, everything. I mean, PWI is giving it to you now, right? There's so many out there that have, you know, so many wrestling organizations, which again, I don't see why they can't have a second or third wrestling magazine out there right now. There's enough out there, enough wrestling companies out there to cover stories. You can do more than just PWI. Anyways, I digress about that. That's another topic for another story. But here we go again. August 2023, Supercards 23. We got Roman Reigns on the cover, Mark Briscoe, they're doing all the companies, AEW, everything's in here. Ring of Honor, Impact. I mean, you got so much, just amazing. So much talent, so much wrestling, so many organizations in the year 2023. So that's it. Supercards. Pro Wrestling Illustrated gave us an inside look at the main shows of that time frame that were all kind of pressed together. So if you couldn't see it, if you couldn't be there live, if you had to wait to read the results, you got to with the help of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. They gave us amazing pictures, colored photos at that, right? I mean, that's pretty cool. PWI, back in that era in the 80s, especially 86, 87, 88 and whatnot, they weren't known for putting colored photos in their magazines unless it was just the inside poster. So to have like actual, a few sheets of paper in there with that were colored, kind of neat. It was. And they went above and beyond for giving us a sneak peek at these organizations and the matches, because we probably didn't see them back then. There was no internet, no no streaming sites, no torrent sites even, right? Let's be honest. If you didn't have cable, you may not know of these wrestling organizations even, right? As a kid, I didn't have cable. I had an aerial. So I got what I got, and it was WWF Superstars Saturday morning, WWF Wrestling Challenge Sunday morning, and I think NWA Worldwide was on Saturday afternoon in the 80s. And that's it. That's all. There was no WCCW, no AWA, at least not that I know of. I didn't see it. No UWF. I know that stuff aired on cable, but we didn't have cable. So no ESPN, no TBS, no nothing like that. No USA Network, there was nothing. So I got what I got. So I got my information from these magazines. And I got to see the photos, and I kind of got to live vicariously through it all by looking at PWI's results and information that they gave me. And that's pretty cool. So this is it. The Supercards, right? So how many of you out there had any of these? Did any of you have the Supercards? Did you attend any of these shows? If you did, that's awesome. That's great. Congratulations. I unfortunately didn't. Like I said, I've only went to one big show, and that was WrestleMania 23. I did go to TNA Bound for Glory 2006, but, I wouldn't say that was a huge show. It was fun. But, these were big events back in the day. So pretty cool that we got to see the photos of them, got to read the results, got to get an inside peek at it all. And to anyone out there who's watching this, if you're a fan of the Supercards, let me know. Did you actually see any of the newer ones? Did you go to any of these events? Let me know. It'd be cool. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Share the video. Right now, I think I got like 41 subscribers, and I think that's ridiculously crazy that 41 people took the time to subscribe to my channel to see these videos of magazines. I'm glad you're enjoying it. You clearly must be to be coming back and watching. So I'm thankful for that, and I thank you all. So thanks for watching. Until I do another video, which will probably be the following day. These seem to be daily now, right? Like I'm having so much fun doing this. I'm finding new ways to bring these magazines to you all. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later.